Today I have managed to arrange an interview with Shayne Pooley, who is campaigning for Gainsborough in Ipswich. Afternoon, Shayne, and thank you for your time to answer a few questions on your campaign today.
Afternoon, you're very welcome. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Okay, Shayne, firstly, can you talk a bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name's Shayne Pooley. I'm 42 years old. I was born in Ipswich and grew up in Ipswich. I moved away in my early 20s to be a catering manager. I moved to Kent for 4 or 5 years. That's where I met my wife, who is my wife now, my beautiful wife, and we have now 3 adorable children. I've got a 4th on the way. So that's pretty much about me, really.
Oh, is your wife not from Ipswich?
No, she's actually from Kent, but when we were younger, when we were courting, she came back to Ipswich a few times and she just fell in love with the place and she decided that's where we wanted to bring a family up.
That's fine. So why represent Gainsborough?
Well, like I said, I grew up in Gainsborough. I love Gainsborough, it's where my heart is, to be honest with you. There's a lot of lovely people in Gainsborough. It's got so much potential. I just feel like it just needs a stick in the right direction, really.
Yeah, so how do you plan to do that then?
Well, I've got a Facebook page called Standing Up for Gainsborough. Anyone can contact me on there if they like. Any questions they want to ask, anything that needs doing, that could be, they want their fence sorted or, a phone call made to the council for their boiler, anything like that. I can help with that sort of stuff. I'm there on these sort of basic issues, but I think they're the ones that need addressing, locally.
So why UKIP and why is Shayne Pooley involved?
Yeah, well, I never really thought about getting involved with politics, to be honest. Politics was never my thing. I didn't want to go down as a career route, really. It was just one of those things I wanted to do because I just got annoyed with the 2 main parties, to be honest with you. They seem to go around in circles, backwards and forwards. I think they don't really seem to care about too much about local issues, about the local people. They seem to worry about corporations and keep towing the line with them, really.
So why do you think UKIP has such a bad name?
I think that's the mainstream media, really, that have done that. I think they always paint a bad picture of the supporters and the representatives of not Gainsborough as such, UKIP. It doesn't matter what area you're from. I think also, if people knew me, they'd know, I've got black friends in the area. Black people would be proud to call my brothers. There's a lovely Asian community as well, which are really friendly. I've got a few friends in that community as well.
And what would you say are the good and the bad points about Ipswich?
Well, like any place, really, it's got its good and bad points. I just think traffic's a major issue in Ipswich. I just think that there's a lot of people who don't get home to their families as quick as they possibly could. They're losing time with their families. Sometimes the people in traffic, they've told me they're 2 hours a day. There's always roadworks, which I get need doing to a degree. But we need a northern bypass, and we need it now.
What would you do, and how could you help the people of Ipswich now?
Well, I've got a Facebook page called Stand Up for Gainsborough. People contact me on there any way I can help them for. It could be a bus route, it could be a boiler gone. Sometimes someone's called me and can't get their boiler fixed, can't get through the right department. Major just local issues, really. Someone had a problem with their fence, and they needed to have a disabled badge put outside the house because they couldn't get out of the car. So little things like that, I try and tend to help as many people as I can. And sometimes they ask their councillors to help them, and sometimes their councillors can't help them. But they come to me afterwards sometimes, and I'm not even elected. Just imagine what I'd do if I was elected.
So how do you feel on the country's current state?
Well, that's quite an open question, really. If you look at the cuts, let's go for school cuts. We've got NHS cuts and police cuts.
Yeah.
Now, with a growing population as well, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It just shows to me the people at the top really only care about the people at the top. They've got their own private healthcare. They've got their own private schools. Yeah. They've got their own security, so they don't really need to worry about what's going on everywhere else.
Well, that's right. So what about foreign aid then?
I think that's important. There is some sort of foreign aid, but I think it needs a major overhaul, to be honest with you. I think a lot of the money goes to corporations in foreign countries rather than the people that directly needs it. I think the money goes from the poor people in rich countries to the rich people in poor countries.
Yeah, that's right. And finally, Shayne, with Brexit on the tip of most people's tongues, what's your views?
Well, I don't really want to get locked into a war of figures, really, to be honest with you. Just talk the facts, really. I'd say the facts were that someone's got to pay for Brussels. Someone's got to pay for the building. Someone's got to pay for their lavish lifestyles. And they're unelected bureaucrats at the end of the day. And they're not held accountable when things go wrong. I've got an analogy for you if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's 2 lads walk to school. And every morning they give their bullies the dinner money to the bullies. And one day, June the 23rd, 2016, the boys decide they don't want to give the bullies their money anymore. One of the boys carries on paying, but the other one doesn't. The one that carries on paying, the bullies get hold of him and sticks his head down the toilet. And everyone in the class has a go at the person that stops paying, the little boy who stopped paying the money. So everyone blames the boy who stopped paying the money for the boy getting his head down stuck down the toilet, rather than the bullies who actually did it. You know, they're very clever.
Yeah, so what about the other areas of Brexit?
Well, there's so many different areas that apply to so many different people. For instance, if you take the fishing industry, we pay £6 billion a year to the fishing industry, but we only get 3 million back. Sorry, 3 billion back.
Yes,
Not 3 million, 3 billion. Sorry, I get my figures wrong. There you go. You don't even need to do the maths. That just basically says for you, if you're paying 6 million in and you get 3 billion back, it's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? Also, if you take the NHS, I don't think we can actually. I need the books in front of me, obviously, to work that out. But I don't know about the 350 million a week. I don't honestly know about that. You'd have to look at the figures, like I say. But I think 5 billion a year would be quite easily done. 5 billion a year. I think we could manage that quite easily.
Okay.
And as for food, well, we'd be our own tariffs. Businesses would be able to give their own tariffs. We wouldn't have to listen to the EU tariffs and decide on what they're giving us to do. And also VAT on energy prices, basically. And we wouldn't need to put VAT on energy bills. I don't think we need it. But the Brussels obviously makes us do it. And you can understand why people want to leave the EU.
Yes, certainly.
Being told what to do.
Okay, then, Shayne. Well, on that note, thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
Very welcome. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.